Shards of Time was a book written by my father a number of years ago. It was a compilation of short stories of all of his other works, and a newer story as well that kind of threaded those shards of time together, if you will. We've spoken about that before on previous videos, but every now and again I find like a parallel to that title specifically, and kind of his own life, if you will. The other night, every now and again, I'll just Google search, Troy Hertzbees. It's a little dry. I'll Google search Troy Hertzbees. I'll YouTube it as well. You don't ever really find much, which is strange. I was gonna say, sometimes I find these videos hard to make, and you would ask why. Like, what's so difficult about just kind of talking? That's not the tough part. Whenever I have a story or I reference something and we do these videos, there's always a very specific reference in my mind. Oftentimes something we've already filmed. And the unfortunate reality is, with his archival footage, a lot of what I am trying to talk about is actually missing. Now, over the years, and again, I've spoken about this before, he had a number of YouTube channels pop up and go down a number of times. A friend of his or a family member, we would try and get something going. He would get in these moods and say, we're going to put up videos and this and that, and he'd post dozens if not hundreds of videos, and over time they would all get wiped one way or another. And that's why I feel like the parallel to the Shards of Time is my father's life is almost fragmented aspects of that. Little broken pieces of mirrors, and each little broken piece of glass that you see floating, follow me, floating around, there's almost like a scene playing, a point of his life. Like the Ripley's Believe It or Not video is still up there, and it's still getting comments. Not too recent, but within the last few years, a lot of negativity, or just people not understanding really what's going on or what they're seeing, or of course just remarking upon like the craziness and the silliness of it, which is totally fine. But again, I feel like these are very scattered, fragmented pieces of his past that somehow all thread together on this very real current timeline that we're in. I find it so interesting. Like when I did a deep dive a couple years ago, I was finding like forums from like 2006 and stuff that no one used anymore, just really obscure references and comments of people looking for videos. It's so weird just how like all over the place it is. Like there's some references to him in pop culture, and even things maybe everybody else has seen along the internet. You might not even know are references to him. I don't have all my dates and names here. I don't have a booklet in front of me, but just recently, was it Anthony? He was on a he wasn't on a talk show, but he was referenced on a talk show recently. I guess this guy was doing a bit, making fun of Elon Musk or something, and then he shows a clip. This is in the last 2 years of the old man. He goes, that's my Iron Man. And that's from Iron Man 2. An interesting point on that as well is, I remember once before Iron Man 2 came out, and I didn't believe my dad. He was very upset with me that I didn't believe him. He said he was watching a video. Robert Downey Jr. is doing an interview for Iron Man 2. And behind him in this video is Project Grizzly's playing. And it's the old man getting struck. And I was like, you're bullshitting. Like, you're a fucking liar. You're always lying. And he was so upset with me because once I said this as well, he got contacted by Metallica because they wanted him to go up on stage and beat him with guitars and stuff. It's complete bullshit. Yeah, he got contacted by, I would assume, like someone called him from a band or whatever, but it could have been like a local North Bay band, you know what I mean? But of course it's Metallica. So anyway, it's true. I saw it. Robert Downey Jr. is doing an interview, and one of the things that's playing is Project Grizzly 2. It's crazy. I remember Paramount contacted my parents and paid him several $1,000s. I'm sure a lot of people have heard of the movie Dinner with with the Schmucks or with Schmucks. I think that had Steve Carell and Paul Rudd in it. I am probably wrong on these things, but anyway, didn't make it into the final cut of the movie. But in that movie, like as it's starting, they go look at like last season's winner or whatever who won the dinner with Schmucks, and it's the old man. Now I don't think that ever made it into that movie, but again, it's weird. He was technically in that movie. Talladega Nights, Ricky Bobby, with Will Ferrell. There's a scene where Will Ferrell's down and out, and he got paid. My dad got, this is real, got paid. I never made it in the movie, but he got paid, and Will Ferrell's watching TV, and on it is the old man, and his mom walks in and goes like, you need to be more like that guy, like that's how you get back into the racing or whatever. The Simpsons, I have it, I have the exact episode referenced on my Instagram. I forget what it is, but there's an episode of The Simpsons where Homer's in a dump and he gets attacked by a bear, and of course he builds a bear suit, the Bear Buster 3000 or something. That was a reference to Project Grizzly. My dad, no, and you know, so many people even watch that episode now and they're like, oh, did he get the idea from this or whatever? It's like, no, man, like he was like, you know how many celebrities like are referenced in The Simpsons, especially back in like the 90s, early 2000s? That's nuts. Again, the Shards of Time, these fragmented little pieces that people don't even know about or they don't realize. I think he's referenced in a video game. It's something where you can choose like I don't even know, it's almost like a Twisted Metal or something. You can choose a racer. Some guy, this was in a forum, and it might be, the guy's name's like Grizzly Bear or something, and he's got like, you know, a bear suit on. I don't even know. And there's so many more. There's a few more I was going to reference as well that he was in. Oh my God. They, you know, the reality shows they try to do. Again, you can find Indestructible Man on YouTube right now, A&E. That was filmed by Lucas Platt, I believe, who was the producer for Dog the Bounty Hunter. Mythbusters, things like that, Discovery Channel so many times. Just these little fragments of him popping up all over the internet. And you can't find a lot of it. Even all of his Discovery Channel appearances and things like that, it's so difficult to find, which makes these videos difficult. But because even what I'm referencing here, like I know I had a video, and he shot it on YouTube, of him reading from the book Shards of Time, and I don't have that. I believe maybe one of his friends or something. I'm having trouble contacting certain people that had helped him in the past. And I don't know if basically all the videos are deleted, but I know you can make them private. Maybe the account was, I would assume they're all gone, but there was there was dozens of hours of him reading books on YouTube, which would have been perfect for these things. And they're just gone now. The Shards of Time. It's like the multiverse. The old man. I'm losing my train of thought a bit. There was so much, but maybe that's what it is though, right? Is there's so many little strange pieces of him just strewn about the internet, and they're all there, but so much of it's just gone. You know, he was, I think I said this before too. I said most of this before. He was on Steve Harvey many years ago. I guess Steve Harvey had a talk show, I think, as the story goes. I'm hoping it was Steve Harvey, but that episode's got to be out there. That would have been from the 90s or something. Like, what? Troy Hirschby sitting down with Steve Harvey. It's weird. It's like, again, those little fragmented mirrors splintered about, trying to track it down, piece it together, again, in search of an answer, just assembling a timeline, if you will, for all of it. And attempting to reveal in our own way right now, through this format, kind of that story and how unique it is. I can tell you there's very few people that have lived a life as unique as that. But we will work with what we have right now. I do feel very lucky to even have this much to be able to show the world, and the wonderful stories I have in my head, which some aren't 100% accurate, but I'm doing my best to provide the most clear timeline and picture possible. As we enter 2025, I said it before on Metalizer, we have got not just exciting stuff, some massive changes and projects in the work right now that hopefully all pan out, because you never know, but hopefully everything pans out. And what that means is just more content from me. Aside from all of that, it's just more. It's about bringing Troy Herchbees in a way to the forefront and kind of highlighting the odd legend of the internet that was always there. And he's kind of scattered now, and you know, hushed tones are spoken of him, and there's these odd references in GamePro magazines and YouTube and, you know, talk shows, reality shows, movies, always in movies. It's there. Hot Rod, I think, I don't even know if I just said that. Hot Rod was another one he got referenced in. They were, you know, poking fun at the testing videos, which of course is the most prevalent video that's still around today. You know, the 2-minute clip of him just getting ragdolled in trucks and stuff. We're gonna find it. We're gonna find it and assemble the shards of time.